What's up, sports bettors? We got 15 MLB games today, and I'm going to be taking you through the best MLB parlay. So our parlay is going to be on FanDuel. It's going to have two legs, and we're going to talk about parlay betting strategy and how parlays work. So kind of a misconception about parlays is you can never make them profitable, and that's just completely untrue. Right? If you're placing parlays that are positive EV, in other words, every leg in your parlay, every bet in your parlay has a mathematical profit margin, then your parlay will be profitable, which we'll go through in this video, and we'll explain essentially the best positive EV parlay for today on FanDuel. So we want to find bets for our parlay that have actual value, right? That have a profit margin. So the first bet available in the Rockies Diamondbacks game on FanDuel is the first half run line for the Diamondbacks, right? On OddsJam, it's pretty simple. We try to make it simple. You just look for the bet in bold with a circle around it, and then you scroll along the top or the bottom row, and you'll see the profit margin for your bet. So for Diamondbacks plus half on the first half run line, this bet has a profit margin of 2.37%, right? And this is just quantified using real-time market data, right? The most important thing. You want to be a data-driven sports bettor. You want to make consistent profits over the long run. You need to be looking at real-time market data, right? So if we click into the odds and we see what sportsbooks have posted odds, for this specific wager, we have Diamondbacks plus half, minus 118 on FanDuel, it's minus 140 on DraftKings, and minus 134 on Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, the most efficient betting market. So these two columns are equivalent, but they're pricing this at minus 134 on the sharpest bookmaker, right? So you want to use real-time betting data to try to help you find these line discrepancies and these profitable bets, right? And Diamondbacks plus half, minus 118, is an example of a sharp, mathematically profitable bet because the odds that you are getting, minus 118, is much better. You're getting 6 cents of improvement from the true odds based on the betting market from the sharpest sportsbook out there, right? Only 17 cents in market width. So they're very confident in their market, plus 117 to minus 134, only 17 cents in market width. And we're able to get this minus 118 on FanDuel. So this is a great bet. It's the first leg in my parlay. And the win probability of it is 55.41%. So a no vig fair odds calculator, it's really the most important calculator on OddsJam. You can kind of read through this text if you've never used a no vig fair odds calculator. But what this does, this calculator, is it essentially takes a sportsbook's market and removes the vig or removes the juice to tell you the true odds based on that sportsbook's market, right? So here, Pinnacle is pricing the Diamondbacks plus half on the first half run line at minus 134, and they're pricing Rockies minus half at plus 117. So essentially, once we remove the vig, remove the spread, we can see what the sportsbook believes is the true odds or the fair odds for our Diamondbacks wager, and it's minus 124.26. That's what their model is pricing. Once you remove the vig, remove the juice, which implies a win probability for your bet of 55.41%, right? Sportsbooks always are implying win probabilities through their market. If a sportsbook is pricing, two teams, both at minus 110, then what this calculator tells you, which should make sense, is both teams are equally likely to win, right? If a sportsbook is giving you equal odds, let's say, on the Rockies and Diamondbacks money line tomorrow, then the sportsbook thinks both teams have an equal win probability, 50%, right? Only one team can win an MLB game. So if you're getting the same odds on both teams, the sportsbook is implying both teams are equally likely to win. Now, at the same time, we can head over to Moneyline. If the sportsbook is pricing, the Rockies as minus 122 favorites, they're obviously going to be more likely to win than 50%. So we can kind of quantify that mathematically using real-time odds from Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker. And we can see right here, based on their market, the Rockies are 53.93% to win. Right, which makes sense. The line is slightly juiced towards them. They're not massive favorites, but they're slight favorites in this game. So you can use real-time betting data from the sharpest sportsbooks, Pinnacle and BetOnline, to really try to figure out the true win probability, the fair win probability for your bet. So anyways, let's get back into it. The next pick I have is Nationals Marlins first inning total runs, right? It's on the top row, 2.15% profit margin, over half of the total run in the first inning. So this is yes run first inning, right? If there's 1 run, 2 runs, anything but 0, this bet is going to cash. We just need 1 run. And the market on Pinnacle here is -129, +110. So this should be a slight favorite once again. And we can see the true odds are -118. We're getting -113. So we're always getting better odds than the true odds from the sharpest bookmaker out there, right? That is your goal as a sports bettor. You always want to get improvement to the true odds from the sharpest sportsbook in the world. So here we can see the win probability for this bet is 54.19%. Once we remove the juice, remove the vig. So now we have the win probability based on real-time betting data, real-time odds from the sharpest bookmaker, and we can back out what is the true win probability for our parlay, which is just going to be this number times this number, right? These are two uncorrelated bets, completely different games. There's no correlation. To get the win probability for our parlay, we just multiply these two picks together, right? So I only staked $50 because that's the max that FanDuel allowed me to bet. Sportsbooks, it's why nobody wants to bet on sports full time. It's a fun and lucrative side hustle, but these sportsbooks can cut you off at any point. So we're staking 50 at +248 odds, right? To win 50 to win 124 in profit. So you can see, we can go through kind of the edge or the profit margin of our parlay. So according to real-time betting data from the sharpest sportsbook, our parlay is hitting roughly 30% of the time. So 30% of the time, we're winning $124 in profit. The other 70% of the time, we're losing our $50 stake. So you can back out kind of the math and see that we have $2 in profit margin on a $50 stake, 4.5% edge on our parlay, which makes sense. We're parlaying together two bets that have an edge or a profit margin of roughly 2%. So in our parlay, that profit margin compounds to be roughly 4%, which you can see right here. So 2 sharp bets in my parlay, MLB picks for tomorrow. You can do this really with any sports book, right? Any sport. It's not like this is only for baseball or only something you can do on FanDuel. As a sports bettor, if you're finding picks that have a mathematical edge, you can parlay them together and your parlay will be profitable and you can run through the exact same math we just did. So again, you can also refresh. You can change around a lot of your settings in OddsJam. Maybe you're comfortable with longer odds, even if sportsbooks are less confident, or even if the outcomes are less likely to hit. So you can change around a lot of your settings to kind of customize OddsJam to show you exactly what you want to see. You can filter out sportsbooks. I have some sportsbooks filtered out. There's some early football bets if you want to take advantage of them. But, football season's still a while away. So this over 48 total points in Packers, that looks pretty good, right? BetOnline setting it at 49, like over 48 on Caesars and the Vikings-Packers game. That seems pretty good, but I'm holding off on football, at least for a bit. At least for tonight. So I hope you enjoyed this video, kind of on sports betting strategy, how to find the best bets. And as always, any questions you have about sports betting, you can book a call with us, comment them below. We're happy to help. That's our only job here. And thanks so much for your time.